Well, lordy pants, here we are back again. We can't just... We've got one thing, we are tenacious, James. We are tenacious. Lovely to see you up in your Edinburgh boudoir.
Thank you, Chris. It's good to. It's nice to see you as well in your Shakespearean hovel.
That's me, Shakespearean hovel. Do you know, one of the things I'm noticing is that how colour coordinated am I? I fit in with my room.
Yes, of course. I was just thinking, what a perfect Sunday supplement, you middle class so and so.
Harsh. Anyway, yes.
That wasn't a denial.
Listen, I'm aspirational. You know, I see people in the street, and I think one day I could be like them. I could have a yacht. I'd love a yacht. I mean, there'd be nowhere to put it, but just have it in the back garden and just.
Yeah. Well, you've got sheep out your back window, so you could just go and borrow one of them.
I could. They don't float the same though, do they?
Oh, that kind of yacht. I was thinking yak as in...
Oh, right. See, the thing about shows like this, the old anorak, just in case people were wondering what on earth they just tuned into, communication is everything. So when I'm talking about a boat with a sail and mispronouncing it deliberately because, I'm a bit frivolous like that, and James thinks I'm talking about some kind of South American cattle, that's a conflict, isn't it? That's problematic.
I thought yaks were Himalayan. You're getting muddled up with llamas, aren't you?
Yeah, because yaks are found on llamas. That's right. So, and that I recently found out, well, not recently, but the Himalayas are actually pronounced the Himalayas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I found that out too.
Yeah. So I don't know where that's even going to take. So what we're mispronouncing this week is, and I'm really glad you've brought this into the sphere, our sphere of influences. We're talking about genres, and I'm really looking forward to talking about genres.
Yes, musical genres.
Yeah, it's about time, because it's a confusing. The musical genre can be confusing for your person who's just reaching out and starting with your 20th century music.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
Well, I was thinking, you go into a record shop. I always, whenever I'm thinking about a record shop, I think about you going into a record shop, because I think, because it has been a while since I've been into a record shop. Probably the last one I went to was HMV on Princes Street, and I don't even know if it still exists.
Jesus, no, that's long gone.
Yeah,
that's Sports Direct now. It's been Sports Direct for many years.
Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end.
Yeah,
we'd sing and dance. So I remember just sort of perusing around, and when we're looking at genres, it's things seem to be sort of placed more through luck than judgment.
Yes, I mean, not all record shops are equal.
No. So when I think of you perusing a record shop, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was called, but there was one that we used to go to. See, note the way I'm inserting our past in here to just in case our eager listener doesn't know that we're utterly ancient. When we were at the North East London Polytechnic, there was a record shop where you could go in and just go through all the vinyls, and they were beautifully set. And I have an image of you just going through there, being familiar with the people who worked behind the counter. What's it going to be this week, Jim? And you'll be going, I'm looking for something really obscure for a radio show that I'm going to be doing in about 100 years' time on something called YouTube,
the
and
internet.
yeah, and
And
they'll be
getting funny
saying,
looks.
yeah. So that's my image. So the genre. What is a genre?
A genre. It's it's really it's just a word to describe a style or a collection of music that's similar
Yeah.
in style or in performers. It's traditions or styles that share common elements. Now I've found my notes. You can see I'm back on the case.
Nice one. Good for you. So it actually comes from the French. Well, it's a French word, genre, which means family. Well, it actually means genus. And sorry, the French. So the French genre comes from genus, and genus is from the Latin family. And look, here we are, family.
We are family.
I've got all my sisters and me, or summit. So one of the things that really struck me about the world of the genre was when we. It seems weeks ago now. We were talking about what was it? Rock and roll, and you said, Chris, go and find out your favourite rock and roll music. So I went off to look for my favourite rock and roll music, and I suddenly realised that I was really struggling to work out what rock and roll was because everything seemed to be called rock and roll. Now,
just rings a bell.
So I went to my good old friend AI. And I was really pleased to know that AI had even less of an idea than me. They just came up with any old pants and called it rock and roll. So, I mean, it's I'm thinking about biology. I'm thinking about how these people manage to sort of fit all these different species and subphylums and all these kind of things. And the same science isn't being applied to music, is it?
Not really. Not really, but music's really about emotional reactions.
Yeah.
The only science is in the mathematics that governs music in terms of the notes and the scales. Apart from that, it's all down to what mood am I in today. And when you talk about genres, I think. Musical styles develop. They kind of evolve. So that's a similarity, if you like, to one branch of science because it's an evolutionary form. Form of art.
Yeah. But it's sort of. I don't know. It's evolved. But the question is. Why? Why has something like that evolved? Why do we need the genre?
If we didn't have them, it would be really difficult to find what you're looking for. Let's take the example of back in our days when you were listening to the top 20 or the top 40 on I think it was a Sunday.
Yes.
When a particularly familiar piece of music would be playing at the beginning and during the countdown. You hear something you like and you want to go and find it. And then you like that piece of music and then you want something similar to it. If you're going to go into a record store that's simply A to Z, for example, you're going to struggle a bit, and you're going to be relying probably more on the knowledge of whoever's behind that counter. If you're going to say, well, I got this fantastic single last week by Akka Bilk because it was in the top 20. And I'd like something like Akka Bilk, please, because I really like that style.
Yeah.
Now, all you get is a blank look, it's like, A's over there, governor.
Sorry,
Next to
sorry,
B.
mate. Sorry, mate. This is my Saturday job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're going to struggle, because A to Z, you're taking quite a big gamble on just closing your eyes and picking one at random, hoping it's going to be like a bilk. So if you break it down and you take this wide base of knowledge called music, and you subdivide it, there are faults in subdivisions, but it's also a great tool because
it gives you kind of
find out
clarity,
first what this music hacker built plays is called, and then you go looking for it. So you go and look at trad jazz, for example, and you'll be able to take home the delights of Humphrey Lyttelton or Chris Barber and people like that.
Suddenly, lots of little doors start opening to take you.
That's right, and
all kinds of interesting places.
The tangents, the side doors, or the tangents that we both love about music.
Because I'm thinking, if it's just alphabetical, we were talking about this before. You've got Clash next to the Clannad, and you think they're quite different.
Yeah, that's right. And so Clash next to Clannad, next to John Coltrane, next to Johnny Cash. I mean, if you put in a system of genres, you'll have Clash next to Crass, where they belong under punk, and John Coltrane will be next to Alice Coltrane, and Clannad's next to Kappa Cayley, and Johnny Cash is next to Roseanne Cash. Things make a bit more sense, and they become easier to find.
Do you know, I can almost see the record shop of your mind opening up here as you blow the dust off great big 12-inch sleeves, as you put them carefully into their slots in a sort of wooden case in the centre of this record shop that's, I don't know, it's in one of the back streets off Princes Street. This is where I'm having your shop, and people will come in.
Please don't put me anywhere near Princes Street.
No, around the back. When people sort of go, "Well, I've had enough of this Princes Street rubbish. Let's go round the back," and they'll go, "Wow, this is different. Maybe Rose Street. Maybe you're a Rose Street kind of guy." And you're sort of hovering around there, and people come in because they've not seen, and they suddenly see this vast array of records, and you're there as a guide to help them navigate this tricky, sometimes treacherous world of the musical Dewey Decimal System.
Yes, that Dewey Decimal System. There's a great thing, eh? I mean, we were talking about this previously as well this afternoon.
It's a bad thing, the Dewey Decimal System. Do you remember going to libraries and going?
I think the concept's fantastic.
Okay.
Because I think the first digit, 0 to 9.
Right.
I think they're basically subject areas.
Okay.
And then as you move along the digits, they break down into subdivisions.
No.
So you might have science under one number. Let's say science is number 1.
Yeah.
Then the next digit along, physics is number 3. And if you're looking for physics, then it would be 1, 3.
Yes.
And if you're looking for quantum physics, then the third number along, say that's 7, for example, for quantum physics. So you're looking 1, 3, 7, and you're coming down to you're narrowing this point down.
Almost right down to the very record that you want.
Yeah. So
record, book, same difference.
Yeah. So Dewey System is for libraries, but simple genre segmentation in record shops is an approximation.
I'm thinking that the way that you can focus with your wonderful analytical anorakish mind, I can see this record shop developing. I love the idea of somebody, obviously bare floorboards. and there'll just be a weird selection of music playing in the background, and as you've been taken by some kind of music fairy for that particular day.
A random whim has struck me.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
I'm off to that corner.
Right. That's your future sorted. We just need to. I mean, you've still got a lot of vinyl, haven't you?
I haven't got much vinyl.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm not sure. 200 or 300 albums.
Yeah, that's enough to be too heavy to push in a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to carry them.
No.
You know.
Yeah. So what we're trying to say to people is that there is no Dewey Decimal System for the record. It's a kind of subjective, kind of gut thing at times, but
yeah, but unlike the kind of scientific rationale behind Dewey, our approximation as music listeners and as punters in record shops is just the subdivisions, you know, let's say country, folk, blues, jazz, you name it, you know.
And that's what I call music, obviously.
Well, that's probably needs a whole shop on its own by now.
Yes. Yeah, it's a great big vat of so does that ease your way into your music selections, or are you kind of beyond that now? You're at a sort of different sort of cerebral level where
I mean my favoured port of call in terms of music shops these days is it's still one I've used for a long time. It's still FOP.
Right.
The place I go to first. It's also my side of town, so it's easy. But they have most of their CDs in a general A to Z, and then there are some racks at the back of the room where you've got subdivisions, and they don't have huge sections for the different genres that they've subdivided, but it's a start.
Yeah.
So they will have blues, and they will have soul and jazz and country and folk, soundtracks and easy listening and what have you. And then everything else is just thrown into an A to Z, you know, a giant dustbin that takes up most of the room.
So you get in touch with Mr. Fop and tell them that you've developed the Jimmy Decimal System, and say, I can help you out here, guys, because people come into your shop, they get overwhelmed with all 20 records that you've got, and they just walk out. Whereas you can guide them. You can hack through the foliage. That's me hacking.
That's very good.
Thanks. It's very authentic, I thought. It was
It must have been quite weak foliage.
We were in a Brazilian jungle there together. You know, we were just... You can hear the...
This is not the platform to be talking about Brazilians, Christopher.
No, there's no way out of that one. So we're going to consider that a cul-de-sac. We're just going to put that to one side. Okay.
So reversing out that cul-de-sac.
Yeah, reverse. We're nowhere near.
Next turn off.
So we've still got this wonderful record. So we've got the types of music, and it's like a big sort of family tree that's biological and very emotional, but it's also an affiliation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So so one of the sort of standout things is your mods and rockers, when they say, that this is my identity, this is who I am. I listen to this type of music, and therefore that type of music's rubbish. And
punks and metalheads and various others.
Yeah,
definitely. And that's, I mean, from the retailing point of view, that's going to be one of the big benefits of having subdivisions, because folk who are committed to a particular identity. Most of those subcults have a musical landscape that they view as just their own.
Yeah. These are my people.
And so you can, you can cash in, if you like, for want of a less harsh term, and advertise that you sell this stuff. Now the general public can buy it as well. But for those who have an allegiance, they know where to find it. And if you get a name for stocking X, Y, and Z, and having their first 3 albums, but not the 4th because that was really rubbish.
It's really funny. I just remembering the days when I owned a mobile disco, and I remember a young person coming.
I don't remember this.
Well, that's lost to the mists of time.
This is before we met, I take it.
Sadly, no. I was a social worker looking for a way out, and my then wife, I think, was somewhat surprised to find the living room filled with 4 great big speakers, a mixing deck, a turntable, and
several hundred bits of vinyl.
Yeah, but it was mainly CDs, but it was off the back of doing hospital radio. It all made perfect sense to me at the time. It was great fun, and it paid for itself within about 30 seconds. But this young person came up to me and said, "Have you got X?" I can't even remember the piece of music they said, and I said, "No, I don't have that because it's rubbish." So. You are in a position of power, like in your record store. I think you're in a position of power to sort of guide your misguided people into a sort of certain.
Yeah, although one person's misguided soul is another's acolyte.
I know. But so
I've never been particularly judgmental where music's concerned.
No, thank goodness for that. So
looking for a way out of this comment.
So let's go back to Brazil. That's safer. It does hack our way through the foliage.
The thicket.
Thicket, no. Right, that's gone wrong again, unsurprisingly. So we were talking about retailing, and it's not just about the music, is it? They sell you a dream. They sell you an outfit almost.
Yeah.
This is who you are, what you do, and
It's the art of capitalism, isn't it?
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a thing of great, ripping offedness. Let's
soundtrack your wage slavery with something delicious and slightly overpriced.
And you have your music idols. And you want to look like your music idols, and you want your friends to look like your music idols.
I've always wanted to be idle musically.
And that's why I look like.
You're finishing that sentence yourself.
Anyway, back at Brazil.
Yes, the boys from Brazil.
The boys from the. So they sell you stuff. Now I was thinking. And I could be well off the mark. Is that such a thing with contemporary music? Do you think? I mean, you've got your people dressing in different.
Do you mean do genres still apply?
Yeah, do they as much?
I don't know about as much. I mean, they still apply.
Yeah.
I mean, the old anorak, as you said at the beginning, is really about the music of the 20th century.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that we're closed off to music from the 21st.
No. It's just that it's more likely to be copyrighted, and if we try to play it on our YouTube channel, then it might be difficult.
Yeah, but to tie it back into this episode.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
I've got quite a few albums, that were produced and released this century by artists that didn't have a career prior to that.
Right.
And it's bloody good music. if I throw in a couple of names, I mean, a guy called Sturgill Simpson has probably been around a good 10, 15 years now in terms of being a well-known face on the country scene here in the UK. So he came on the scene. He's had several great records. His first 3 were fabulous.
Right.
And that's identifiably country. Or to use a more modern categorisation, it's probably more Americana. But that's a muddy pond. Let's not go in there. Janelle Monáe, who's also known as an actress, and she has had several albums out in the last 10 or 15 years, and she did a whole cycle of EPs and LPs that were about an android called Cindy Mayweather, and it's a great cycle of records, of albums.
That's wild.
Yeah, and you know that would probably be somewhere in the cracks between soul and hip hop and jazz.
Yeah.
So
just a record there on its own.
Yeah. So if you just you would need a Venn diagram to describe.
Yeah.
The category for those records, and then there's a guy called what's his name? Kamasi Washington.
Okay.
His stuff's definitely under jazz, so categorisation still exists, and he's from the west coast of America, from LA. So genres are there; they're still useful.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bloody good music from the 21st
century. Absolutely. I think
I think from the musical snobbery point of view, if I sat and listened to the top 40, I would probably still be saying similar things to what I was saying 40 years ago, which is, God, this is a load of shite.
I mean, yes.
So have things changed that much?
There is stuff that slips under the radar that's awful, and stuff that slips under the radar that's absolutely fantastic. That's where you were sort of slipping into a bit there. You were saying that there are some bits of music that just they have no genre, they have no place to go.
Yeah, like the Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, I love that. It is.
She needs a Venn diagram, category.
Yeah. So I'm seeing this massive Venn diagram with about a million circles, and then you magnify it. It's almost like a fractal, and you just get this tiny bit, and there she is. Yeah, love that. I've just it's this sort of way we divide ourselves, and I'm thinking again about school, and thinking about where do you fit in
the tribal nature.
Yeah, you because you don't like that genre because you're an idiot, and you don't because you've affiliated with some mates who only like
only
that
folk that are uncool like that stuff.
Yeah. And if your band dares to go from being one genre almost to another, I remember. Look at this. This is me talking about music. Look, I am becoming
do it, Chris. Do it.
But the early Stranglers, the Guildford Stranglers albums, were really quite punky, where you could jump about in a sweaty way. And then Raven came out with its limited edition 3D image of a raven on the front, and it was altogether more musically proficient. And a lot of punky people went, "What? What's this?
What's this rubbish?
Where is the opportunity to throw a glass of urine at the band during this harpsichord solo?"
You can't pogo to that rubbish.
Yeah. So But I know it's nowhere near rubbish enough for me to bounce around and make lots of grunting noises. So I think that's the beauty of music as well. It ebbs and flows, and sometimes it gets people to sort of question their own direction.
Absolutely, and what you're describing there about the peaks and troughs within one act, within their personal history. Another really good example would be Genesis and how they changed from when Peter Gabriel was the lead singer to Phil Collins. And in the 80s, if you heard Phil Collins and then you heard Genesis, it was like, where's the difference?
Yeah.
They took on a sound that just made them appear like his backing band instead of an entity on their own. So there would be a lot of fans that would have dropped out then.
Because, this is just not what I signed up for. I didn't
sign up for this.
Yeah. It's fascinating. So it's not just, well, it is about the music, but it's not just about the music, and it's about your mates as well, isn't it? I think, I go back to this often, is when I met you and you were unashamedly an Elvis fan, and I'd sort of come from this background where we had to squirm our way through genres going, I like them, but I don't like their later stuff because it was a bit too, and I don't like them because, well, it's ABBA, and look at me, I'm a big hairy man from Corby, and there's no way I could ever like ABBA, although I remember the music and words of all their songs today, because I obviously
still dance to them.
I didn't like them, obviously. So it's a weird old mixed up thing.
It is. It's always felt like it's more of a boy thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll have lady anoraks as well in the musical field, and I'm sure there's lots of them. But of all the people I've stood in the pub with over the years, way back when I was still drinking, and you'd be chewing the fat over music, for pints or hours on end. There was nearly always, it was a collection of blokes stood at the bar going, and this band and that album. Oh, but not on that tour because they were rubbish.
It really sort of bangs home the anorak in the old anorak, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It does.
We like to collect stuff.
Yeah, we are acquirers.
But I thought you were going to go down the tribal route because men are notoriously more idiotically tribal, and will hang on to something that it's almost like stuff we don't believe. Once we like a thing or like a band, we'll put up with quite a lot.
Yeah, because there's a lot of emotional investment.
There is
in music. I was going to make an analogy to football, but I won't. I'll back away from that.
Man, it was tempting, wasn't it? It was tempting.
Yeah, football's very different because you have an allegiance to a team and that's supposed to be it.
It's
music, you have an allegiance to this band, that band, the other band,
a
million different bands. And you can still have an allegiance to a million different bands, but still be, I'm one of them. This is my tribe.
This is where I fit.
Whereas with football, it's like, I'm one of them, that's my tribe, but I'm only allowed one.
So, I'm wondering, right, I think we've covered a lot of what we want to talk about, but one of the things I'm thinking is what use is all this to our young Anorakis? What story are we telling to them? What are we asking them to do here?
The most useful thing is what we've already said. It's if you're looking to explore the music of the 20th century, you're going to have to start somewhere.
Mm.
And wherever you start, in order to just expand your horizons a little bit, the best thing is to look for something similar to that first toe in the door.
Yeah, that thing you
and then
liked.
work your way from there.
Yeah.
And go in that direction until you just hit a natural tangent.
Yeah.
And that's where your genres will come in useful.
So I think you're saying we just need a bit of courage as well, to sort of dive in and
yeah, you do have to.
Yeah.
You do have to be a little bit brave. And once you accumulate a bit of experience in terms of your listening choices, then you're more able to, even just looking at the cover of something. I've bought albums in the past, and vinyl or CD, it doesn't matter, but you look at the cover and it might tell you who the producer was or what studio was it was made in, and you go, oh right, Rudy Van Gelderer. Okay, yeah, I'll take a punt on that because his Herbie Hancock albums are really good.
So we're upping the nerdyism there. That's fantastic. Good effort.
Yeah,
there.
so that's where genres help you to build up that foundational knowledge.
So don't just look at the name of the band, or you're not even just looking at the genre. You're then looking at the people who are involved in that genre, who perhaps
and the record label. Yeah. It's Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Oh, and you look at the spine, and it's like, I love his Blue Note stuff.
Yeah. And off you go.
So it's like, I think film fans can be very similar because. Some people will judge a movie by the director's name, as to whether it's worth going to see, instead of the starring actors.
Okay.
There'll be other people who will look at the writers.
Yes.
And go,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
They turned out something really great.
Really good. The dialogue's fabulous when he does it.
Yeah.
And it's the same in music.
Yeah.
You look at producers and engineers and the session men and women that were on it.
So I think what we're almost saying here is that genres are kind of rough guide. They kind of get you in there, and then you can really whittle down and nerd your head off.
Yeah, they're great if you use them as door knockers and not as barricades.
Yes. Nice. Yeah. So this is my way in. Let's have a look and. Let's have a listen to this.
Yeah.
But don't use them as barricades. I only like this type of music.
Yeah, I've found my way into this box and I like it here.
Yeah.
Use it as a door knocker to knock the sides out.
Yeah,
and see what's next
and just
door.
keep going. Because there's so much out there, and I think between us, I think we like everything in the entire universe.
I think we probably cover just about everything we can think of.
Yeah,
musically speaking.
I think that might be a reasonable point for us to consider drifting off into the old anorak horizon, into the distance as we float off and leave you with.
We can wander off into the bargain bins and.
Yeah, I mean that actually. I think it's worth talking about your £5 Amazon dip, because I think that is brilliant, and I think that drive that one home.
Oh right, the £5 game.
Yeah.
This goes back some years now, but back then Amazon would charge £1.24 postage for a CD. So some nights, let's take a Friday for example. I've finished my work. I haven't gone to the pub, I've come home instead.
Yeah.
I've got a libation and I've got some recreational combustibles. And feet up.
What, fireworks? At home? That's dangerous.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You smoke them down to the pop.
Okay, right, yes.
So feet up, music on, and while the music's playing, sometimes I start looking at Amazon, and I just go to the. I think back then the heading was just music; it wasn't CD and vinyl.
Okay.
So you just pick that heading, click search without entering anything, and then you'd pick a genre, and then you'd just go low to high for price.
Right.
And all this stuff, a lot of it which is not very good, admittedly. I nearly said another word.
You did.
I did.
Terrible is what you nearly said. Yes.
But it all comes up as a penny for a CD.
A penny for a
and
CD.
I would set myself the challenge of getting 4 CDs for a fiver, including postage. So I've got to get 4 discs for a penny each.
Right, right.
And yes, there were a couple of things that ended up as coasters.
Yes, because
one of them mysteriously scratched to destruction on the playing side.
Oh, that must have been. You must have been gutted at that.
Oh, yeah, that's a story for another time.
£5, 5 CDs. That's a billion hours of music for a fiver.
Yeah, yeah. I picked up some real gems as well.
Yeah.
But we won't mention the Tina Turner country album that I picked up, which
was it not? What
it got played once.
Oh right, yeah. Just
that was it.
It was maybe just a little adventure she went on, and she.
Yeah.
No.
I think it might have been an unofficial compilation of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was awful.
Right.
Oh dear.
Yep. Well, that's. But so try little adventures like that. Sort of approach. Be random. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would obviously have names that I was targeting.
Yeah.
I would like to see. But sometimes I just bought stuff because I like the cover.
Yes, that's a nice red. Yes, that'll go well with my coffee mug when I use it as a coaster. Cause,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so as ever, like, subscribe, follow us on Substack, YouTube, Blue Skies. You can follow us on that if you feel the urge, and I promise not to sing often. That's it, really. That's
you're too good promising not to sing.
Do you know, just for a moment there, I thought you were going, yeah, Joe, Chris, you're too good. Your music, your singing, Chris, is just
behave yourself.
Absolutely fantastic. And I thought you'd been waiting with that compliment for all our lives. For 40 years, you've been sitting on that going, do you know, that Chris, brilliant voice, he was wasted in social work. And, anyway, so, yeah, you know where to find us. Like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. And I want to hear about you dipping into different genres. What do you want, James? What do you want from the Anorakis?
I want to hear about the tangents that you went on.
Oh, nice.
On a whim.
Yeah.
You know, those instances where you go to the shop or to your favourite internet music site.
Yeah.
You're looking for one thing, you come away with another.
Yeah.
I want to hear about those.
Yeah, that'd be delicious. Okay, until the next time, I've been Chris Young, and who have you been?
I've been Jim Lang.
And this has been the Old Anorak. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.